Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video of Marvel Contest of Champions. I hope you all had some amazing holidays and Happy New Year to everybody. We are starting today exploration videos for 7.1, so stay tuned. I'll be doing 3 hard parts from each of the chapters. So the first one from 7.1.1 would be Can't Stop, Won't Stop with Fight or Flight. Now before we get into it guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, like the video, post your questions, all of that really helps me out a lot. Now here it would be great if you can use only Mystic Champions because there's a helpful node here that's called Muscle Wizard. So every time you knock down your defender, you get Unstoppable on it. And that together with Can't Stop, Won't Stop, it helps kill the defender very quickly. If you're unaware of the nodes, they'll be flashing on the right side of your screen once the fight starts, so make sure to check them out. So one of the best champions to use on this path is going to be a Doom or a Magic. You keep knocking them down and you will get Unstoppables. If your Mystic champion is already unstoppable, they will get Fury buff indefinitely that can go up to 4 Fury buffs. So it's a pretty easy and pretty fun path if you have the right champions. Now I have given you a breakdown of both if you can use Mystic champions or if you have non-Mystic options. Even with non-Mystic options, if you don't have the ones I've given you, there is still another node that's called Fight and Flight. So every few seconds there is going to be unstoppable on your defender if you are close to the defender, but if you are away from the defender you get unstoppable. So pretty much you can use any champion, but still I would suggest you to use, if you're using non-Mystic champions, Magneto would be a great choice because most of the path is metal. And then champion would be a good one. Also you can use Mojo with Iceman. You can also use Captain Marvel movie version with Rogue. So there are different champions that you can use, and I would still suggest to go for Mystic champions because that makes the path super easy. I'm gonna go with the mix of champions so I can show you all options. So stay tuned guys, and then at the end there's a Yondu boss fight. We will get into details of it later as well. So my team for this path is going to be Doom and Magneto. Most of the path I will run with them, and then just for the synergies with Doom, I'm going to bring in Mr. Fantastic because he gives armor breaks with every heavy from Mr. Doom, and then also Diablo that gives guaranteed hits if there's a stagger on the opponent with Doom. So basically all other champions are only synergy champions, that is ramping up Doom. So all I'm gonna do is take in the corners and just hit slaps. So again, I have a Magneto that is rank 3. He was the one I took for Thronebreaker. If you have other champion you can use that as well, but Magneto makes it super easy. Again, if you have a Doom you can easily just take him to a corner, slap him down. Same goes for Clairvoyant, same goes for Mojo. There's quite a few champions that you can use. I would really suggest to have Mystic Dispersion because that will help you cycle your specials faster and knock down more, and the usual parry would work as well. So Duck is a metal champion, so all you do, you just build up to your L3 and this, you make sure that you are charging your heavy, you have an unstoppable, and then you let it rip. One more thing is when the opponent is bleeding out and his all metal opponent is bleeding out, is almost at the end, make sure that you're charging a heavy, you have unstoppable buff, so the shrapnel bleeds give him full damage, otherwise they'll be reduced. That's the thing just to keep an eye out, and apart from that it's a pretty simple and easy fight. You can do with Doom the same, you can just keep slapping him in the corner, or with Clairvoyant or any other Mystic champion because you will have a lot of unstoppables in this fight. If you're not aware about the nodes on this one, there's a Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and then there's Fight or Flight, and then there's Muscle Wizard. Can't Stop, Won't Stop, you need to have an unstoppable on you to do 100% damage on your defender. If you don't have it, then you do reduce damage to the opponent by 75 or 80% depending on the quest. And the other one is Fight or Flight, is after a certain cooldown timer that you see on the right side of the screen on the defender health bar, it goes under unstoppable. Now if you're away from the defender, the attacker gets the unstoppable buff, but if you're near to the defender will get the unstoppable buff. So you just need to make sure that you keep an eye on that timer, and when it's about to expire you are away from the defender, so you get the unstoppable, so that also stacks up. And also, when you already have an unstoppable and you knock the opponent down, you will get fury that will increase your damage. So all in all, it's a fun little path. And the final one is Muscle Wizard. If you're using a Mystic Champion and you're knocking down your opponents, you get Unstoppable. And if you already have an Unstoppable and you knock the opponent down, you get Furies, indefinite ones. So I hope that is clear. Me, I'm using both options. I'm gonna use a Mystic Champion as well, and I'm gonna use a Magneto as well, so I can show you guys the difference with both. So with Magneto, I just used him for the duck in the beginning. I'm gonna use him for Cull Obsidian as well, because they both are metal champions. So it's much easier this way. So again, all what I did was I filled up my 3 bars of power, make sure I had 40 magnetized charges, and I just let it rip, and then he bleeds down, and then with the shrapnel damage he's almost dead. Going to repeat the same, and it's a pretty simple and straightforward fight, guys. The third fight is against Dr. Octopus. Again, is the same concept. It's a metal champion, so I'm gonna use a Magneto as well. Again, guys, my choice of my preference is going to be a Magneto because I have him at rank 3 and he does a lot of work for me, because as you know, in Act 7, if you're using 6-star champions, you get extra damage, and with Magneto, when he uses it in SP3, he gets an extra fury as well, so his damage output is really increased and helps him make the fight shorter. But if you have domestic champions that are better, like if you have a Clairvoyant, if you have a Mojo, or if you have any other mystic champion like a Doom and you think that is going to help you better, you can use them as well. As long as you bring in the right champions, it will be amazing. I'm just going to use Magneto because most of the path here is metal, and Magneto is also great for Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Now finally we have a non-metal champion that is going to be a beast against us. Now here I'm gonna bring in Dr. Doom, and all I'm going to do is to put him 4-hit combos and slap him with a heavy right there, and you see I have an unstoppable because of the muscle wizard. Again, I'm gonna try to do the same. I do get carried away a lot because it's a lot of fun just slapping your opponent with unstoppable on you. But yeah, you might make the same mistakes I'm making, but all you need to do is to keep knocking him down. And again, whenever he has it right there, I already had unstoppable and now I have an indefinite fury buff. So the same concept I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep hitting him, bringing him down, get those furies stacked up and get those unstoppables. And then again, it's a simple Doom fight. You can use an L3, L2 into L1. You can use that rotation, or you can even spam only L1s to get all the furies first, so it's up to you. Right there you see I have multiple unstoppables that are giving me a lot of furies. And this is a really sloppy fight because I keep getting hit, but because I'm unstoppable I'm able to block it off. So I took a moment, paused the game, and then refocused, and it's like, okay, I don't need to take this much damage. So yeah, so you get right back into it again, parry into heavies, and then an L3, With all this fury stack up, he will die really quickly. It's a really fun path if you have a Doom. Next fight is going to be against the Venom Duck. So again, he's also a non-metal champion. So I'm gonna use a Doom again here. Again, it's the same concept. Just use my 5-hit combo, knock him down, get an unstoppable, build up those fury charges by knocking him down repeatedly, and then just use my L3s and repeat the same process. Again, pretty simple and easy fight. You can do it with Wont as well, any Mystic champion for that matter. You can use a magic and take them to a corner, power log them and keep intercepting them and killing them. So yeah, as you will notice right here that I just built up the Furies. I just used an L2. I'm gonna build up to an L1, steal the power and do the same again. And the final fight before the boss is going to be the mighty Colossus. Now, he's a metal champion, and usually I would tell you to go ahead and use Magneto here, but the problem with Colossus is he is bleed immune and he is also armor break immune unless you're using a tech champion, and he just negates everything that Magneto has to offer. You cannot bleed him, so you cannot get those huge bleeds, and you cannot armor break him, you cannot get those huge SP3 damages or SP1 or SP2. So I would say avoid using Magneto whenever you're facing a Colossus. So that's why I just brought in a Doom. Simply I will repeat the same process. I will build up my Furies with Unstoppable, use an L3, then use an L1, just keep going on to that rotation and he will die pretty quickly. You can use this with any Mystic champion who has any kind of nullify. So I am talking about Black Widow Clairvoyant. She will work amazing here. You can also use Mojo. You can also bring in Morningstar and use his L2. So there's quite a lot of champions that you can use for this fight. I specifically brought Doom with all those synergies, so I'm just gonna use Doom. Another added advantage of using stagger champions like Doom or Hood is if you're in the middle of a combo and you're fighting against a defender and he goes into fight or flight and gets unstoppable, it will be nullified by the already placed stagger on him. So that is another advantage of using a Doom as well. Now the final fight against is with Yondu boss. He's one of the easier bosses of this path. Now there's plenty of different options, but let's go through the nodes first. The first node is going to be Super Masochism. So every 6 seconds he is able to regen back any kind of debuff he's applied, especially poison, bleed, armor break, so stun, so all of your parries will not work. Apart from that, with feats of power, so the more bars of power you have, the more stronger his abilities get. It's right there on the right corner, you can read it out. And also rich get richer, so whoever has more buffs on them, they will get more power. And finally there is one helpful node that is called foresight. So whenever you intercept the opponent, you get 300% plus damage. People who do map 7, they are familiar with it. So there are different champions you can do. With the best champion to go against this Yondu is going to be a ghost, because with ghost it's really easy to intercept. You go back in your phase board and he comes in to attack you, and if you retaliate quickly right after the first medium, that is counted as an intercept, and that gives you huge damage. You can just use that intercept and go into an L2 for huge damage. Now I've already used ghost in my other video, that is on easy path of completion for 7.1.1. if you haven't seen that, you can check out that video as well. Just write 7.1.1 in easy path on YouTube search and it will show up. Now I'm using a different champion now, that is going to be a warlock. So with warlock you will get easy heal blocks with his transmute virus, and again it's very easy to manipulate Yondu and you can intercept him. So what you're trying to do is that the first L1 you will have to be patient to build. You can either hit him in his block or try to intercept like I did on this fight. Once that is done, then you can just take him to a corner, wait out his L1s like that, and you can go back and use a 4-hit combo. Make sure he does not have an L1, you swipe back, and because the AI is very aggressive, he will come back into you to attack you, and you can easily go ahead and intercept that. What I'm doing here, that I am baiting out his L1 right there. I'm going back in. Now he does not have L1, I'm trying to intercept, and once I have an L2, I'm only using it once I have the foresight node on me right there, and I'm going to use an L2 that will give him big damage and he will die really quickly. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you find it helpful. Next one is going to be another path from the same 7.1. We are going to do 3 parts of each quest, so stay tuned guys. It's going to be a lot of videos in 7.1, and if you enjoy the video, make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel and comment down on the video. All of that really helps me out a lot. And again guys, happy new year. I hope you had good time with your loved ones, and apart from that, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.